Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. My username is Cavernchick, and that's my personal YouTube page. I just wanted to start out by thanking Lifeembracing for having me as a guest host for this week and next week. They had approached me about a month ago to guest host, and it's an honor, and I've been really excited about it. So today I'm going to share my personal story. And then next week I will share some resources and websites and books that I find really helpful and wonderful in the recovery process. So my personal story. I'm 25 years old. I live in New York City. I'm a writer and spoken word performance poet, and I also private tutor in academic subjects. And I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. I had an eating disorder for 10 years. I've been in recovery now for 4 years. So a bit of history on my eating disorder. I developed what was diagnosed as borderline anorexia when I was 11 years old. But I would definitely say that my whole life, probably starting age 3 or 4, and then through the course of my eating disorder, but from like 4 till 11 when the anorexia began, I definitely had disordered eating. Everything was about emotional eating and my body image. I was a dancer, which is a really difficult space to be in terms of body image, and I was also an ice skater, so go figure, pun intended, I guess. Both of those definitely had a lot to do with how my eating disorder developed and my sense of self in terms of my body. So I struggled with anorexia age 11, 12, and then when I was in 8th grade, when I was 13, I started overeating and binging, taking diet pills, and then began throwing up, and then developed bulimia. I had bulimia all through high school, and then for 2 years, I claimed I was in recovery, thought I was. In retrospect, I wasn't at all, and instead of purging, I was over-exercising, so exercise bulimia, definitely still binging. The symptoms of an eating disorder are still there, but I thought I was in recovery because I wasn't binging, and then it took years to realize, no, I definitely still had an eating disorder, I just wasn't aware of that. So I feel like that can happen a lot. As you'll see from my story, I transferred through so many different types of symptoms that it's clear that to me the core of an eating disorder is much less in the way it manifests itself and much more in the fact that there's something emotionally, mentally, psychologically going on that then manifests itself in a myriad of ways. So then when I got to college, when I was 19, my brother died in my first year of college. He was hit by a car and killed. He was younger than me. And that set me off, and my bulimia resurfaced. And I struggled with bulimia then for my first 2 years of college. And then when I was 21, I got it. It's like the jig is up. I'm done. Like, let's go. Recovery, for real. So I've been in recovery now since then. And a little bit more about my story. I struggled with depression throughout that time with my eating disorder. I was on antidepressants for a year in high school, antidepressants for a year in college. At this point in my life, I avoid Advil at all costs. So I don't take anything anymore. I try to avoid most Western medicine, and when I'm sick I use natural medicines and stuff. So with recovering from my eating disorder, it was also like, okay, I treated my body terribly for so long. This is now, I owe my body a lifetime of joy and love and peace and kindness and nothing toxic, and that's how I live my life now. So what else? So while I did have my eating disorder, I experienced a lot of health problems when I was 14. Just after maybe 6 months or so into my bulimia, I had stomach ulcers I bruised my stomach, I had a tear in my stomach. I popped a blood vessel in my eye, which was an awful way to spend freshman year of high school for a month. I was always getting ultrasounds on every organ of my body. I did quite a number on my digestive system and my energy and my body, and my weight fluctuated a lot. I gained a lot of weight from bulimia, which has since gradually let go. So I feel like I'm still in a discovery journey with my body, getting to know what it really looks like and who it is and what it wants. And now with food, it's like I ask it what it wants, and it tells me, and that's what I eat. Like when I eat what I want when I want. And I'll talk more about the different resources and tools that have helped me come to this space next week. But I feel, I don't know, I've been an activist for eating disorder recovery and positive body image for several years. I began speaking publicly about my eating disorder in hopes to share my story and help others choose to recover when I was 17. So if you look at the timeline, that was still when I was with my eating disorder, but it was during this time period where I was over-exercising. So I thought, like, I'm recovered, I'll share my story with the world. But so that was when I was 17, and then in college I sat on body image panels. A lot of my writing, a lot of my performance poetry, I talk about eating disorder issues. Some of my poems are up on my personal page. Again, that's Cavernchick, and Cavernchick. And I've found that, I don't know, this is, to me, sharing my story is, I can only hope that it resonates with someone else. Eating disorders are an epidemic in this world, and it's an epidemic that is, it's like a war on the self, and if we don't love ourselves, then how can we love each other and work towards peace and love and equality? So to me, this is about shifting consciousness within ourselves. It's about shifting, a fear of our body, a fear of who we are and food, into a love and an embracing. I mean, this channel is called Lifeembracing. Like, to me, that's what it's all about. It's embracing yourself, your strength. So I don't know how much time I have left. Oh, a few more minutes. So yeah, that's my story. I post personal videos every week or so. I've been doing that since December of 2007. I had met someone through an organization I've been a part of for several years who found me as I'm a resource person for ANAD, Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders, which is based in Chicago, and Chicago, Illinois, in the States. And this person found me looking for someone to talk to, and we met, and she told me all about everything going on YouTube, and said, get on YouTube, share your story. You feel strong in recovery, and that's what people want to hear. So I hope this is helpful. I'm always around for questions. Ask me anything here or on my private page. And again, I am so honored and grateful and thankful to the Lifeembracing channel for having me as a guest host this week and next week. There are amazing things going on all over YouTube in terms of eating disorder recovery and positive body image, and that's where it all starts. Like, to me, like, we love ourselves, no more war. That's how I look at it. So yeah, I look forward to sharing more in this space next week. And again, any thoughts, questions you may have, let me know. Lots of love for a beautiful Saturday to all, and see you next week.